Have you ever driven down a lonely road late at night? That feeling? Like the darkness is watching you? Well, for a truck driver named Rick, that feeling became a terrifying reality. This happened a few years back, on a stretch of highway that cuts through a dense, old-growth forest. People call it the Whispering Way because of the strange sounds the wind makes through the trees. But on this particular night, the whispers weren't coming from the wind. It was 2:13 a.m. Rick had been on the road for nearly 10 hours, pushing to make a delivery by sunrise. The coffee had worn off, and his eyelids felt like they were lined with lead. The road ahead was a tunnel of black, sliced open only by his high beams cutting through a thick, rolling fog. It was the kind of fog that swallows sound, making the world feel silent and small. Then he saw it, or rather, he saw her. Standing on the shoulder, just at the edge of his headlights, was a woman. She was wearing a thin, white dress that looked completely out of place for the chilly night. Her long, dark hair was plastered to her face by the damp air, and she was just standing there, staring into the woods. She didn't have a thumb out, wasn't waving for help. She was just still, dangerously still. Every instinct in Rick's body screamed at him to keep going. Truckers have rules, and one of the big ones is you don't stop for anyone on these remote stretches, especially not after midnight. But something about her. She looked so lost, so vulnerable. Maybe her car broke down further back? He slowed his rig, the air brakes hissing, and pulled over about 50 feet past her. He grabbed his heavy-duty flashlight, his heart starting to thump a little faster now. He told himself he was just being a good Samaritan. He hopped down from the cab, the gravel crunching under his boots. "Hey, miss! You all right?" he called out. No response. The fog swirled around him, and a sudden coldness seeped into his bones, a chill that had nothing to do with the night air. He started walking toward her, his flashlight beam bouncing ahead. "Ma'am, do you need some help? I have a CB radio?" As he got closer, he could see she was barefoot. Her feet were pale and looked almost blue on the dark, wet asphalt. A shiver of pure dread went down his spine. This was wrong. This was all wrong. He was about 10 feet away when she finally turned her head, slowly, unnaturally. It wasn't the face of someone who was lost or in trouble. Her face was pale, almost translucent, and her eyes were just black pits, empty, and they were locked right on him. A faint, sad smile touched her lips, and she raised a hand, not to wave, but to point. She pointed directly at him. Suddenly, a sound cut through the silence. It wasn't the wind, it was a soft, melodic humming, the kind of tune a mother might hum to a child. But it was coming from her, and it was filled with an unbearable sorrow that made the hair on Rick's arms stand straight up. He was frozen. He couldn't move, couldn't breathe. It felt like the air itself was pressing in on him. Then she took a step toward him, and another. She wasn't walking. She was gliding, her bare feet not seeming to touch the ground. The humming got louder, more distorted, twisting into a sound of pure anguish. That's what broke the spell. Rick scrambled backward, fumbling for the door of his truck. He didn't even look back. He threw himself into the cab, slammed the door, and cranked the engine. He floored it, the tires squealing on the wet pavement as the massive truck lurched forward. He didn't dare look in his rearview mirror until he was miles down the road, until the sun was just beginning to peek over the horizon, painting the sky in shades of gray and orange. He never drove that route again. He quit his job a week later, sold his rig, and took a local dispatch job. To this day, he says he can sometimes hear that humming in his dreams. He doesn't know who she was or what she wanted. All he knows is that he stopped when he shouldn't have, and a part of him never really left that foggy, haunted highway. So next time you're on a dark road and see something that doesn't feel right, just remember Rick's story. Sometimes the most helpful thing you can do is just keep driving. Thanks for watching. If you have a spooky story of your own, share it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling tales. Stay safe out there.